So the last thing you want to do when you're starting a new healthy lifestyle and a positive change is making it harder on yourself from the beginning. So today I want to share with you what I think are the 5 biggest mistakes that people make when starting a new healthy lifestyle and how to avoid them. And after watching the video, if you've made any of these mistakes, let me know in the comments below. I've made every one that we're talking about today, so I know how frustrating they are. So let's get started. Mistake number 1, thinking that all you need to do to lose weight is to cut out calories. So what does this look like? This looks like a bunch of artificial sugars. It looks like starving yourself. It looks like drinking a bunch of diet sodas and focusing more on the calorie content than on the nutrient value of what you're eating. And like we've talked about before, cutting calories and really restricting to really low calorie levels is gonna cause issues. First off, it's just not sustainable. You might lose a little bit of weight at first, but then when you're done calorie counting because you're so tired of starving yourself and you go back to your normal way of living, the weight's just gonna come right back on. Second, you're not giving your body any energy. Your body needs energy in order to burn calories itself. So if you're restricting everything, it's gonna shut down everything, so you're not having a higher metabolism, and you're basically gonna be lethargic as you're not burning the calories that you wanna be burning. And so many people come to me saying that they don't wanna eat a lot of calories because they're terrified of gaining weight. And the more you stop thinking about calories and start thinking about nourishing and macros and eating foods in the correct combinations, and I have a whole video on how to calculate your macros that I'll link to below, the more you're going to be able to give your body what it needs to function as a machine, and it's gonna start burning those calories, and you're gonna start losing weight effortlessly that way instead. And if you've watched my video on my struggle with weight, I've done the calorie counting game. I got down to 1,100 calories that I was limiting it to, and then I even was upset with myself for getting even close to that. It's not a positive way to live, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. I highly recommend focusing more on giving your body what it needs than restricting what it needs. Mistake number 2, not getting enough sleep. Sleep and rest is so important. In fact, if I had the choice of having a full night's sleep versus having a workout, and I could only choose one of those, you're gonna do more for your body if you have the rest versus having the workout. It's just so important for your hormones to have that reset and to give your body that rest. In fact, there have been studies that have shown that not getting adequate amounts of sleep can actually lower your metabolism and increase certain hormones in your body that actually make you feel hungry and make you crave carbs. So never noticed on those days where you're sluggish because you didn't get good sleep and all you want are sugary carbs? It's because your body's actually working against you because all it wants is that energy, and it's gonna try to get that in those carbs. If you're trying to get healthy, you gotta get good sleep. Mistake number 3, not reading food labels. So this is something I've been talking about for a long time if you've been following me. Nutrition labels are so important because they literally tell you the macros that are in the food that you're going to be putting into your body. If you're not paying attention to that, you're really not focusing on really understanding the nutrients that you're consuming. Also, if you're not looking at those food labels, you're going to be more susceptible to whatever marketing is on the front of the box. You gotta turn it around, make sure that the claims on the front are actually what are being delivered in the product. So marketers are really good at what they do, and they can make products look very healthy even though they're not good for you. Or you might be getting something that actually is pretty good for you, but it's super high in fat. So you don't wanna be eating a ton of it, you want to be just having a little bit of it. Some terms to look out for either with marketing or on nutrition labels are terms like gluten-free, fat-free, contains whole grains, 100% fruit juice, and items like that that kind of sound like it's a healthy thing, but that doesn't mean it's a nutrient-rich food that you should be eating. Another way to avoid all this stuff is to buy foods in simple form and then cook the foods yourself at home. And I have a ton of recipes for you to check out if you're really interested in that, because I truly value making your own food because then you really control the ingredients you're putting into it. Mistake number 4, not drinking enough water. So your body needs to be hydrated. It needs water to function appropriately, to remove waste from your body, and to even keep you energized. In general, you should be targeting to drink about half of your weight in ounces each day. So if you weigh 140 pounds, you want to be having half of that, 70 ounces of water each day. Then if you're adding exercise and workouts to your daily routine, I recommend having more water to compensate for that because you're going to be losing water when you exercise. When you're thirsty, your body is more prone to headaches, fatigue, and even hunger. Your body is going to try to get you to eat foods because it's thirsty and it needs hydration because food has water in it. So having extra water during the day will actually help you feel less hungry as well, which is kind of an awesome bonus. And if you super hate water and you're looking for ways to make it taste better so that you can add more to it. I have a whole video to help you out with that, so I'll link to that below for you. Mistake number 5, possibly the most harmful of all of these, focusing too much on the scale. Let's be honest, the scale and our weight and tracking our weight every day can become an obsession. You feel like you did great yesterday, you ate well, you exercised, you did all the things you're supposed to do. You go weigh yourself the next morning and you either didn't lose weight or maybe you gained a half a pound, and it's just devastating. When it shouldn't be. Your weight is so fluctuative for so many reasons. But this kind of setback can leave so much self-hatred and disappointment and frustration that you don't stick to your goals, you don't keep consistent with what you're trying to do, and then you go try something else and you lose that progress. In reality, the number on the scale is just a number and it doesn't share the whole story. So giving it so much power over your mindset and feelings and how you feel about your progress is kind of silly. But we've all done it. It's totally normal because it's a very simple way to see and track progress. There are so many factors that contribute to weight gain, and weight just generally fluctuates. It fluctuates because of bowel movements, water retention, the food you ate the day before, how much sodium was in it, traveling, menstrual cycles, hormonal changes, increased muscle tissue, and so many other reasons. So weighing yourself often isn't a bad idea if you're using it as just part of the larger picture of data and part of understanding where you're at with your progress. But when it becomes the only way that you feel successful, then that's when it becomes a mistake. Instead, you should be focusing on how your clothes fit, what your energy levels are like, how much weight are you able to lift in the gym, are you gaining strength, and so many other reasons. And I have a whole video on what to do if your weight loss plateaus, and I recommend checking that out because it also talks about ways to assess your progress. All right, so now be honest. Let me know in the comments below which ones of these mistakes you've made or that you're currently making right now and how you're gonna correct it. And I'll see you in the next video.